less than sign, dash, 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 legend. You, amazing. Ah, yeah. I'm still working on it, guys, but I am so excited to bring you Doc Watson, Windy and Warm, an amazing classic Doc Watson tune that I've been meaning to add to the catalog for a while. I am doing the studio version. I know there's a Chet version. You saw me play it with the Gretsch, but I'm not doing the Chet version. This is the Doc version off that studio one. He's got the capo up on the 5th fret. Whoo! This is like a pull your hair out piece. Guys, it's not a beginner piece. Check out the Travis Picking playlist. Do pretty much all of those songs before you do this one. But that being said, if you are just an excited guitarist, even doing a little bit of this to push your playing, learn some new concepts can be a lot of fun. But all I'm saying is don't expect to learn this if you're a beginner or even an intermediate player, because it's really darn hard. But for those of you who are ready or those who just want to try a little bit to kind of push the envelope, I always recommend a harder piece. Let's dive right in. I'm Mike. This is Mike's Music Method. If you're new here, I'm one of those nuts who meticulously uses my ear to tab out songs. I slow down Doc, listen at halftime speed 100 times, and I generate my own tabs, which are all free at mikesmusicmethod.com for educational purposes, all right? Free for you guys to learn. The tabs will be up here. We are going to go measure by frickin' measure, and I'm going to show you all the right-hand stuff, all the left-hand stuff, give you a bunch of technique and practice tips along the way. I've recorded the video, but I'm editing it after I do this part. It's going to be long. So as always, timestamps down below are your best friends. Use them to jump around. Once you learn the intro, at the end of the video, I will do slow run-throughs of each section at like 70 BPM, and that's an awesome way to practice. Learn a little bit, do the slow run-through at the end, jump back, learn a little more, do the slow run-through of that section. Let's do it, guys. I'm happy to be your teacher today. You're going to do this. And maybe, if you're an intermediate player, you're going to do this. If you're advanced beginner and crazy dedicated, give yourself 6 months and frickin' nail this song. Impress all the ladies. The ladies actually don't care about Doc Watson. You know, instead, just learn Wonderwall, right? Just strum those 3 chords to Wonderwall. That'll do amazing things for the ladies. But no, you busting a year of your life trying to learn this Doc Watson song, it's not going to impress the ladies. Maybe some old lady in a rocking chair or something. So if that's your thing, dive right in. Let's do it. Doc Watson, Windy and Warm. Boom. All right, so in this song, I am using a thumb pick. I really recommend the thumb pick because, well, number one, Doc uses it, right? We're trying to mimic the greats here. So he uses it, and it's really hard to get a quick brush when you don't have the thumb pick on. So, you know, it's up to you. You can do it with just your finger, but that heavy beat on 3 and 4 is pretty hard with just your thumb, without the pick, especially when you're doing the quick runs. So I recommend the thumb pick. This is, I'll link to this down below. This is like the Bumblebee, they're called like Fred something picks. I like this because most thumb picks to me are too long, but this one you can push in. And I also like to make the angle a little bit like that way, like inward towards me. It just makes it easier. There are so many different thumb picks. This one I like quite a bit. It's still too tight and my finger turns blue, so I might have to get a bigger size. There are so many different ones to choose from. I would go to your guitar shop and get a bunch of different brands, practice, mess around with them, and then when you like one, then maybe get a pack of 6 or something like that, because they're not cheap, believe it or not. They're actually quite, not expensive, but they're not as cheap as you'd like them to be, considering how easy they are to lose. but you can just use your fingers if you want to. We got capo on 5. Let's do this. First measure, we got a simple run. We're doing open 2-4 on the E string. And then we go into the next measure there. So it's kind of a swung rhythm. 2, 3. And then we go into an A minor, and it's all thumb. We got 5th fret, heavy strum. And when I do the heavy, he's hitting 4, 3, and even 2 sometimes. So it's 5th string, heavy thumb, 6, heavy thumb. And let's do it all together. 2, 3. And he's also really heavily palm muted. Measure 4, we actually start the tune here. So let's do that. We're pinching 5 and 2. And 5 and 3, and I'm using my pointer finger to hit that 3rd string. Then he's doing 4 and 2. So thumb goes to the 4th string, and I'm doing my middle, but Doc is one of these guys who he actually has one of those finger picks on his index finger, and he's using a lot of index, except when it's super fast. Or a roll, then he's using his middle finger too. But I kind of alternate them, so I'm doing 5 and 3, then 4 and 2. Then here, our thumb goes to the 6th string, and I gotta put my pinky down. It's like an A minor, getting that D in there as well. 11 or whatever that chord is. So I'm pinching 6 and 2. I got my pinky down there. But then immediately, I'm lifting the pinky and going right back to the 1st fret. So all on an A minor, pinch, 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 and then it's a heavy thumb. Put that 3 back down on the 2nd string and I bend it. So let's talk through this again really slow. Pinching 5 and 3, 4 and 2. Then I'm pinching 6 and 2, but my pinky goes down. Right, so I'm pinching that. And then immediately I'm lifting the pinky and doing a quick melody note there. So you might just have to practice that. A couple of ways to do it. You can do the same finger twice in a row. You could alternate it, do middle pointer. You can do pointer middle. You can do pointer pointer. It's up to you. Pick one and really stick to it. I think Doc is doing pointer pointer, but I always alternate when it's fast. I don't have super fast reaction time like to do quick trigger finger like he does. So I'm always alternating. Then it's a heavy thumb. I'm hitting like 4 and 3. Then my pinky goes back down and I'm bending it. So it's the ending is like a heavy thumb and then back to the pointer finger, bending that 3 on the 2nd string. So real slow that whole measure. 3, 4. 3, 4. Measure 5. So we're on that bend, and he's kind of still bending it here from measure 4, but the 5 sounds like this. So we're just doing 5, pinching 4 and 2. And I still have that 3rd fret down. So we kind of bent it in the previous measure. Then he brings it back to normal. So we have the bend, 5th string. Then we're just pinching 4 and 2, but the bend is now released. So just 5, pinch 4 and 2. Then we lift the pinky, and I'm pinching 6 and 2. And then immediately my pointer finger, so I'm using my middle finger here again. Again, you can do super quick pointer, but I'm doing 6 and 2 with my middle and thumb. Then my pointer immediately hits the 3rd string there. Then my thumb does the 4th, and I lift the chord there. And it's going to be a hammer-on, but we'll get there in a second. So from the top, 5, 4 and 2, 6 and 2, lift the pinky, pointer finger alone, thumb on 4, and then lift the chord, play open on the 3rd string with the pointer. So the second half of the measure with the 6 and 2 is. And the whole measure together, 3, 4. And if you, let's do it from measure 4 so you can hear the bend. 3, 4. One more time. 3, 4. Now measure 6, we have that open string, and we're just going to hammer into the A minor from that previous measure. So I'm just hammering down an A minor chord, and at the same time, I'm just hitting the 5th string. So it's sounding the 3rd string with just the hammer on, even though I'm doing all the chords, all the notes here in the A minor to prepare myself. It's only sounding that 1, but then also my thumb hits the 5th at the same time. So it's a compound movement, hammer on with a hit on the 5th. And now here, this is what's really tricky about Doc and where I feel like a lot of tabs fail you, because even if you have the tab, you have no idea what fingers to play it with. And here he breaks that Travis picking 1, 2, 3, 4 idea, and he does that hammer on, but then his thumb immediately hits the next note. So his thumb is playing the 8th notes, not just the quarter notes here. So we hammer on that chord with the thumb on the 5th, but then my thumb immediately hits the 4th. And then I do the middle finger on the 2nd string. Then my pointer finger, then my pointer finger hits the 3rd. So we kind of break the Travis thing here, and it's really tricky, especially when you try to flow it all together. So do it slow. So you got the hammer on, then 5th, 4th with the thumb, middle finger on the 2nd, pointer on the 3rd. So just practice that for a while. Or you can do it bleeding in from the 5th measure with the hammer on. So hammer on, 5, 4th, 2, 3. So that's the first half of the measure. Spend a lot of time on that. And it always has a bit of that swing feel to it, right? Second half of measure 6, I'm pinching 6 and 2. And I got the pinky down again on that D, 3rd fret. That same idea, I'm going to pinch 6 and 2, then lift my finger and play that 2nd string again. So I'm getting 3, 1. Now my thumb jumps all the way to the 3rd string. So big thumb leap, pinch 6 and 2, 2 again, thumb goes all the way to the 3rd string, put the pinky back down, and I'm going to slide. So when I put that pinky down, I'm going to hit it with my pointer finger, and then I'm sliding into the next measure here. So just know that we're kind of lifting the chord there. You don't need to hold it down anymore. And I'm just going to teach you the beginning of measure 6. It's another one of those compounds. So the moment that I slide from 3 to 5, I'm hitting the 6th string when I get to the 5. So practice that a lot, and here's all of measure 6. 3, 4, thumb, thumb. Slower, 3, 4. One more time. We'll do it with the hammer on here. So 3, 4. One more time. 3, 4, and. Yep. And because this is confusing and hard, it's one of these songs that I'm going to keep going back for you. So let's go from measure 4 here. 3, 4. And practice along with me as many times as you have. Double click, or if you're on I recommend a desktop or a laptop, and just click that back arrow a couple times and keep looping that section until you feel really good about it.
Look out, young man. There's an old lady in a rocking chair who's got her eye on you. Good picking, young fella.
You guys are doing awesome. I know it's super impossible, but even if you just focus on that for like 2 or 3 weeks, and it's going to be awesome for your playing. So that's what's cool about always jumping out of the box here and learning something beyond your skill level, is that it's going to make easier songs just that much easier. Even if you don't learn the whole thing, maybe you learn a new technique or two and then lay it to bed. It's Doc Watson after all. Many of us players are just never going to get to this point. It takes a lot of time. But even if you can learn little bits and take away, run with it for a year or two, come back to Doc later on, it's always worth trying a little bit out of your skill level here. So let's keep going. We're measure 7. We did that slide and hit that open. And now I'm putting my first finger down on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, then going back to that 2nd string, and now I'm reversing the slide. I'm going from 5 to 3 there. So high 3, 5 slides to 3, then 1 on the same string, then 2 on the third string, and then open. So from the slide, 3 to 5. One more time, 3, 4. Right, kind of swung. Some notes are held longer. 3, 4. One more time, 3, 4. And again, listen to Doc do it in slow motion. You can loop it. And it's Doc. Every time he does that in the song, sometimes he's holding one note longer than the other, and he's being very playful with the rhythm. I kind of do it that way every time. But if you're listening, he does kind of vary it a little bit. Feel free to kind of nail that rhythm how you see fit. Let's go into the next measure here, measure 8. So after that open we just played, he again hammers into the A minor chord. And when I hammer, I'm also hitting the 5th string. Then we pinch 4 and 2. And we've seen this before, 6 and 2, with the pinky down on the 3rd fret here. And then immediately lift it, 2nd string again, heavy thumb, and then we're bending that 3 again. So it's basically a repeat of measure 4. It's almost identical, except now we have the hammer on at the beginning. I'm butchering that. There we go. 3, 4. Yeah, and then measure 9. We've seen this before. It's the same as 5. You're doing that bend, and then you keep playing measure 9. Bring it out of the bend. So that's all been the same. 5 and 6 is almost the same. 9 and 10. Halfway through 10 it changes though. So we got that hammer on into 10. Remember the pattern's different there. It's thumb, thumb, middle, and then so hammer on, thumb, thumb, middle, and then instead of doing the pointer here, we still do it, but we lift the chord. And we can lift everything here. It's like an E minor here for a second. So we do that 3rd string open, then we pinch 6 and 2 are both open. 3rd string is open. Thumb does the 4th string open. Then we put the A minor chord down, and I hit the 3rd string there with my pointer. So that whole measure, hammer on into it, thumb, lift the chord. I'm going to explain the whole thing one more time. If you got it, jump ahead, but I'll explain it one more time. Hammering in, 5th string open with your thumb, 4th string with your thumb, middle finger. Then I lift the chord, I do pointer, then I pinch 6 and 2, thumb and middle, back to the pointer, open on the 3rd string, thumb on the 4th, then put the A minor chord down, hit the 3rd string again with the pointer. So really slow with the hammer on, 3, 4. One more time, 3, 4. And then the first ending here, let's do it, measure 11. Got an A minor chord, thumb on 5, a heavy thumb on 4 and 3, then immediately the 1st string open. And then the second half of the measure is 6 to 2, heavy thumb on 4 and 3, so 6, 2, heavy thumb, then you lift up and you play open on the 3rd string. 6, 2, heavy thumb, open on the 3rd. So the whole measure, 3, 4. Yeah, and remember he is palm muted. I'm just playing it open and letting it ring out so you guys can hear it. But he's basically palm muting the lowest 3 strings for sure. The 4th is usually open, maybe slightly palm muted. That's it, guys. You did the first little revolution there, and even if you get this down, it is freaking awesome, and if you get it up to speed, you're going to impress all your friends. Now would be the perfect time at the end of the song. I'm going to do a bunch of slow run-throughs of that stuff, so jump to the end, practice that with me before moving on. Measure 12, for some reason, trips me up all the time when I perform it. It doesn't look hard written down, but the rhythm and how he fingers it, I'm a little lost on the fingering. But it looks like this slow. We got 5. Well, let me play it. Five, heavy thumb on 4 and 3, open on the first string. So 1, 2, and then I'm hearing another kind of chord brush, maybe on 2 and 3. So thumb, and then he ends it just the 4th string 2 in a row. It's hard because I'm not sure what fingers he's doing, because the rhythm, you know, on the downbeats you want to do your thumb, but how is he doing the 2? Is he doing the thumb and then the pointer finger? It's just very confusing. So what I've been doing when I perform it, I kind of cheat, and I'm just doing thumb, down, up, down as a strum, thumb, down, up, down, thumb, thumb. So pick the 5th, strum down, up, down, then I'm doing thumb, thumb on the 4th string. That's what I would recommend you do. I'm keeping it the way it is because it's more accurate, but I'm not exactly sure how he's picking it, and it always trips me up. So download your tab for free at mikesmusicmethod.com. Print it out and feel free to change that part if you think you're going to get tripped up as well. I guess you could do thumb, thumb, pointer, then brush down with the pointer, thumb, thumb. That's another option. I don't know, guys. That's one of those moments where Doc is tripping me up. And the guy can't even see. How's he doing that? And, of course, the value for value model. Guys, I put a lot of time and effort into this channel. I know you can appreciate that. If you've gotten this far in the video, you know there's some value here. Lots of years of teaching, and I'm giving my expertise. And this stuff takes a long time, making, editing these videos. So please, it's the value for value model. If you're getting good value, throw me some coin, and it just buys me time to make more of these videos. If you guys buy me time, then I can give you more content. It's as simple as that. I won't belabor the point this time. Down below, PayPal, Venmo, Patreon, however you want to do it. Let's keep going. Measure 13. Here we go into the next kind of motif here. Totally different idea happening, and it is frickin' awesome. It's so much fun. You guys are going to love it. It's really a joy to play this and get it under your fingers. So let's go real slow here and learn it. So we're going off like an A minor idea, but we're going to free up some fingers. So we got, I'm going to hit 1 and 2, or sorry, the 2nd and the 3rd string with my pointer and middle. Then quickly hit the 5th string open, then slide that up to 3 and 4. And I'm kind of lifting it up because you don't want to slide, you don't want that excess string noise. So I'm kind of doing it staccato and moving it up. Then we do 5 and 5. You could move that middle finger up, but the way I'm doing it, I'm changing both my fingers and doing ring and pinky. Because we have to go right back to this, and I find it easier to do that, but it doesn't really matter. I guess they're both... You can do it however you want to. Either these two or move that shape up and use your ring finger. But I'm using ring and pinky. That's just what I'm doing. Doesn't really matter. Then we go back to 3-4. But this time we're doing a quick hammer-on pull-off with our ring finger. So I'm doing 3 and 4. But when I play it, my ring finger is hammering that 5 and pulling it right off. So you got to practice that. It's pretty hard. And that's another reason I'm playing it with these 2 fingers, is because I just want to get used to that idea. Instead of doing it this way and then hammering with a different finger later on, it's just confusing. So 3, 4, 3, 4. Then we go back, measure 18 here, we go back to 1 and 2. We lift it up so it's open and open. Then I do 2 and 2 on the 3rd and 4th string. So it's 1, 2, open, open. Then I change string sets to the 3rd and 4th string, and I do 2 and 2. So basically just outlining that A minor chord there. That's part of A minor. We walk through it, passing tones, back on the next 2 notes of the A minor. maybe I'm doing pointer with my right hand. I'm doing pointer middle, pointer middle. You can do pointer middle again and shift, or do thumb pointer. Whatever you want to do for that string shift. I think I said the wrong measure a moment ago. We're actually measure 14. Then after that, I'm going to just quickly strum the top 3 strings. And I'm using my pointer finger. You can use the pick, but that's the thing with this thumb pick, where it's, at least this version of it, it's still too thick. I can't brush it. It just sounds too harsh, because you can't hold it any looser. So I use my index finger to just brush down, up on the top 3 strings. Then we hit the 4th string with our thumb. Back into it. So let's play 13 and 14 really slow here. 3, 4. More time. 3, 4. Remember the ending's just down, up, and then thumb on the 4th string. And then we go right back into it and measure 15. And here it's kind of tricky because we're fingering it like an A minor. So you might do this first one like this, but then I'm going back to normal fingering. So it's up to you. Because we're locked into this A minor at the end of 14, I'll start 15 still fingering it like a normal A minor. But then right when I hit that open and move, I'll go back to fingers 1 and 2 there. So here it was like 1 in the ring finger because we're doing the full A minor. But then I'll pivot to how we were doing it before, 3 and 4. But that's just my choice. You can figure out how you're going to solve that riddle fingering-wise. That's how I'm doing it. Then back to 5 and 5. Back to that quick little hammer-on pull-off. And here, in measure 16, he just waits. And then he hits the 2 notes in the A minor. But again, since we're already doing it this way, now I'm reaching my ring finger to hit that 2nd string on the D. Again, we have all these fingering riddles. You resolve them how you want to. I suppose you could like change the chord out, but because it's ringing, it's kind of awkward to do that. You can, right? I'm shift trading fingers there, or you can just put the ring finger up on top, because we're going right back in 17 to what we did again. And the ending's a little different in 17, almost identical to 14 though. We're just hitting 2 and 3 again, thumb on 4. Pointer on 3. So let's do 17 and 18 again. 3, 4. Just a little transition there. And then this gets fun here. In 18 we have an F chord. And this is the cool Doc roll. It's fun to get it slow, super hard to get it up to speed like he's doing it. We got a big F chord. I'm doing 6, 4, all with my thumb, right? So we're breaking out of that Travis pattern. If we were following the rules, it'd be thumb and thumb and thumb and, but it's thumb, thumb. I got thumb on 6, thumb on 4, and a big F chord. And then I'm doing the top string with my middle, 2nd string with my pointer. So 6, 4, 1, 2 are the strings. Then my thumb hits the 3rd string, so big leap again, 6, 4, 6, 4, then 1, 2, then the 3rd string with my thumb, back to 2 with my pointer, back to 1 with my middle. So again, sorry. Sorry, let's do it with the rhythm. Now that you guys have it, let's put the rhythm in there. So we got that triplet. Bum, bum, triplet, dun, dun. 6, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. 6, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. And then we end the measure going back to the 3rd string. Then we lift it for open on the 2nd string. So it's just 3, open on the 2nd. Let me go a little slower. 3, 4. One more time. 3, 4. Triplet. Yeah. And the cool little run at 18. Easy enough to play, again, super hard when it's fast, and I don't know what fingers he's using, so it's kind of driving me nuts. But it's the 6th string open, then we jump all the way to the 1st string, open, 1, open, then the 2nd string, 3, 1, oh, so oh, oh, 1, oh, shift to the B string, 3, 1, oh. Now you can alternate between pointer and middle, you can do it all with the pick. I kind of like to do it kind of punchy and staccato. Not sure what fingers. It's up to you. It's a tricky passage for the right hand. Spend some time on it. I'm basically doing open, open, and I'm killing that open for the rest of the notes. If you do it thumb, it's cleaner and harder, but like cleaner and louder, I should say. But then it's kind of hard to get back into this when we get back into the next part of the song. But it's easier to do it this way in some regard, because then your thumb's ready to hit that 5th string, but it's a lot harder to do I and M. Your call. You can also alternate thumb and pointer. If I didn't have a thumb pick on, that's definitely what I would do. But with the thumb pick, you can choose to alternate pick it. It's up to you what fingers you're better with, what tone you're trying to get there. Boom. You guys did the 2nd section. Handshake, pat on the back. Whew. Before you go to the next part, though, you would repeat measure 4 to 11, which is that right theme 1, right? We'd repeat that. And then the second time, instead of going into the, we would go to this next section, which you'd repeat all that, measure 9, 10. Instead of doing measure 11, you would jump down here to measure 21, and this would be our transition to go into this 3rd section here. Measure 21 is this. So we got that A minor, 5, heavy thumb on 4 and 3, quickly pick the 1st string, then thumb on 6, and then you do a heavy thumb, but we do a heavy thumb, I don't know what chord is being implied here. Like a D7 maybe? No. I don't know. It's like a diminished chord that leads us into the G, I guess. I haven't thought about that. I'd have to think about it. But I'm just hitting 6, and then I'm hitting heavy thumb on 4 and 3, but I'm doing open on the D string and 1st fret on the G string. So we got a D and a G sharp. But all of measure 21, 3, 4. One more time. Measure 22, it gets really fun. Yeah, let's do it. So 22, we're going to pinch at the beginning, 6 and 3. I'll be honest, when I'm playing it up to speed, I often miss this pinch. And here we break the rules again. We got this cool little dock, quick thumb thing happening again. 6 and 3. Then my thumb plays the 4th string. So it's really quick with the thumb. I'm brushing with my pointer finger and hitting the top 2 strings. If you hit the top 3, that's fine too. It's hard to get that pinch when you're playing it quick in the song, so even if you just do thumb, thumb, that's totally fine. But if you get the pinch, you get bonus points. Then we hit the 5th string in the G chord. And then another quick thumb, but it's heavy. It's like 4 and 3. Then the brush up with the pointer. 5, heavy thumb on the 4 and 3, index. So from the beginning, we got the pinch, thumb alone on 4, thumb up, then 5, heavy thumb, up again. So let's do that before we do the ending. 3, 4. Now we'll end this measure here. We hit the 6 again on the high string. Now, in the tab, I didn't know how to write this. We don't actually hit that 5 there. What I'm doing is just sliding from when I hit the 3 before. It's almost like your fingers don't match the sound, and it tripped me up for a long time. So I didn't write this correctly, but that 5 at the end of the measure, he's not actually playing. What we're doing after we hit that low 3 at the end of the measure, we're kind of just getting rid of it. We're hitting the low 3. And then I'm just moving my hand up to 5. So I'm sliding, and you'll hear that 5, but but I'm not actually sounding it again. So the whole measure. Right, so I hit that 3, I kind of mute it out, and I slide up to the 5. So that 3 just happens really quickly, and then I'm sliding the top 3 up to the 5. I know that's weird, but just think of it this way. It'll be easier if you just play that 3 and then go to the next chord. And this is the next chord. We have to use our thumb. We're playing that same note G, but we're using our thumb because he's getting that 5th fret. Now he's actually pinching it and sounding it. So I have the 3 here and the 5 up here. And here we do kind of normal Travis pick. We got 6 and 2 together. Then I'm hitting the 2nd string open with my pointer. Or sorry, 6 and 1. Then I'm hitting the 2nd string with my pointer. Then I have a heavy thumb and it's open and open on 4 and 3. And then I'm lifting that 5 and making it a 3 again. So pinch, 2nd string, heavy thumb, back to the 1st string with just the 3rd fret. I'm going from 5 to 3. Then the measure ends, 6, 2, heavy thumb. So normal Travis pick here. 3, 4, pinch and thumb and thumb and thumb, pinch and thumb and thumb and thumb. So from the previous measure, let's do 22. 3, 4. So again, the end of that measure of 22 with that 5, just change chords there. We got that. And I'm just keeping that pinky anchored and then going into that G with it there. So one more time from 22, 3, 4. So again, that slide is just an artifact of you changing the shape. Do that slow. Measure 24, we have a C9 chord. So we fret this as 3 on the A string, 2's underneath it, and then I'm barring 3, 3, 3, all with my ring finger. 3, 2, 3, 3, 3. C9. And we have again the kind of quick thumb pattern. 5, 4, then I'm brushing 2 and 3. Then I move that middle finger up to snag the 6. And I'm doing 6, heavy thumb on 4 and 3, and even 2 if you want. And then I'm doing with my pointer finger the top string. So thumb, thumb, brush 2 and 3, then thumb on the 6th string, heavy thumb, and then brushing the top one. Real tricky, huh? Then the measure ends, then we're back to the 5th string with that ring finger, and it's just thumb, thumb again. So very weird rhythmic thing, kind of breaks from it. It's not that hard alone, but again, when you put it all together, you're going to be tripped up because it's a totally different rhythm and right hand pattern. So one more time, 3, 4, thumb, thumb. At least it's thumb, thumb, pointer, thumb, thumb, pointer, thumb, thumb. It's just the rhythm's weird. Cool. Now we kind of continue that in 25. After we do that thumb, thumb, we brush with the 1st finger again, but we got our pinky all the way on the 5th fret. So I got that C9, but then we're also adding that that A to it, right? Giving it like the 11 now. Oops. God, measure 25 hurts my hand. It's hard on this nylon string guitar because the classical guitars have a wider neck. Whew, no, it hurts. But let's do it. So 25, we got the C9 becomes like a C11. We've got to stretch all the way to the 5th fret up there with our pinky. So we're coming into 25. We came out of that thumb, thumb on 5-4. Now we just snag the 1st string with our pinky way up on the 5th fret there. And then, oh no, I lost my tab. Yeah, so do that one. Then we got to move that up to the 6, and it's thumb on 6, thumb on 4. Then I lift that pinky and brush the top 2 as 3 and 3 again. So 6, 4 with the thumb, lift it, brush with the pointer finger on the top 3, and then we end on thumb on 5, pointer finger on 2, thumb on 4. So there we break the pattern again and go into the more normal Travis picking thing. So this measure, 3, 4, 3, 4. It's hard to play that in isolation because 24 like bleeds into it melodically, right? So let's go from 24. 3, 4. 3, 4. And I've seen guys, believe it or not, who can somehow with one finger get 3 and 3. Right, 3 and 3 with that middle finger while still getting this, hey, I did it, while still getting that 2 to sound clean. But holy cow, is that like, I don't really know how I'm doing it. So this finger's barring 6 and 4, sorry, 6 and 5, but without touching this 4th string. And that takes quite a bit of just experience playing. There's really no good way to do it. You just get better at barring. And it still hurts though. On an electric guitar with a smaller neck with really good action, this would be easier. So I don't know why I'm even playing it on this. Doc plays it on a steel string, and that would still be a little bit easier. I don't even have a steel string. So you can donate, mikesmusicmethod.com, if anyone wants to buy me a really nice guitar, or if anyone works for a guitar company that wants me to, wants to sponsor. Send me a nice guitar, Huss and Dalton. I love Huss and Daltons. A nice Eastman. What are the ones out of somewhere in New York or Maine? Bourgeois? No, I don't know what it's called. Anyways, nice custom-made guitars. But that's it. That's 21 and 22. Very difficult, or sorry, 24 and 25. Really difficult. I guess I can kind of do that, and so I'm only moving the pinky. One more time from 24. 3, 4. Buzzing a little bit because I'm not doing that finger motion. You got the idea. Measure 26 takes us back to an F chord. There's 2 different ways to play it. You can't do it like this anymore. You either have to do the Leonard Cohen trick, which is getting rid of the pinky and then dropping the ring finger down 1, because we don't need to play the 5th string. So you can do it this way. We're going to need that pinky free to do some color. And because we're finger picking, we're never playing the 5th. Or you do the thumb over the top and then have these here, but you'll also need that pinky free. So your call, the thumb over the top is very hard on the nylon, so I tend to do it this way, but if I was playing the electric or the steel string, I'd probably do it like this. So let's do it. We've got 6, then thumb jumps all the way to 3, and then we do the brush. Thumb, thumb. We're still doing that quick roll pattern, right? So thumb, thumb on 3, brush the top 2. Then I'm doing 4, 3 with the thumb. So we had 6, 3, thumb, then it's 4, 3, thumb. 6, 3 at the end again. Or sorry, 6, 4 at the end. So 6, 3, 4, 3, 6, 4. Then we do the top 2 again, but my pinky's down on the 3rd fret, giving it that like F9 feel. And that's the beginning of measure 27. Then we do 6, 3 again. Then lift the pinky, brush the top 2 from 26, 3, 4. Yeah, cool. A lot of cool thumb work there. And then we end the measure doing 4, 2, thumb on 3, and then 2 again, but we lift it open. And there it's normal Travis. Thumb, pointer, pointer. So let's put that all in rhythmically. 3, 4. I'm reading the tab because I don't have it memorized yet, and that's hard to do it without looking. One more time. 3, 4, 6, 3, 4, 3, 6, 4. Pinky down. 6, 3. Now without me mumbling through it. 3, 4. nice and shaved for measure 28 here. We got a D minor, and we do the same kind of roll here. We got a D minor chord, thumb on 4, and then thumb right away on 3. Then kind of a similar thing that we had on that, whatever measure that was a little bit back. The ending of that other section, I don't know what measure it was, but we have got 4, 3, then I'm doing first string with my middle, second string with my pointer, and then back to the thumb on the 3rd. So thumb, thumb, and then first, second, 3rd with the thumb again. And then back to the 2nd, back to the 1st. And then we end thumb on the 3rd string and then open on the 2nd. We lift the chord up. Together, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Then 29 we've seen before. Yeah, you guys are killing it. Boom. Again, at this point in the video, you're doing awesome. You get another pat on the back, another handshake. Feeling good? Take a break, stretch it out, check the timestamps down below, do some slow run-throughs before you learn more. And I'll keep saying this, if you come this far, you are killing it, you're crushing it. This is plenty. It'd be a great time to take a break, practice this for a week, 2 weeks, come back to this video later, slow and steady. Takes time to learn a masterpiece. So here in the song, we go to the next section, but we would first do another run of measure 4 through 10, and then instead of doing the fill in 11, we would do this little fill here in measure 31. And it goes right into the, I guess, what are we on, the 4th section here? Yeah, let's call this the 4th section of the song. And basically, we're almost done after this. The fifth, what I call the 5th part, is kind of just a slight tweak of the 1st part. So this is basically the last part we got to run through, but it is tricky. I'm still working on it because it's quite a bit of work here. So we are going to jump to measure 31, and here we have that A minor fill, but we got a cool little transition out of it. So open on the 5th, strum heavy on 4 and 3, then immediately the 1st string, then to the 6th. Then what we're doing is we're doing 1 and 1. So instead of an A chord, we're doing like A flat on the 4th and 3rd string, and he slides into it. So I'm only picking the 4th and the 3rd, 1 and 1, and then I'm sliding up to an A, but the moment I slide, I'm hitting that 5th string open. So we're chromatically coming into that A chord. So after we slide and hit that open A, we're into the next measure. So we got that open A, then I'm pinching 4 and 1, but I got my pinky all the way on the 5th fret there. Then the 6th string, then all the way to the 2nd, and then my thumb hits the 3rd, big leap there. So we got open on the 5th, pinch 4 and 1, with the pinky way up on the 5th fret, 6, 2, and then the thumb goes all the way to 3. So 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of messed it up. There we go. Measure 33, we kind of keep running with this. So 33 is tricky. We're still doing that A chord, so I'm barring the 2nd frets there. But then I'm going to make it an A7 by putting my middle finger down on the 3rd fret here. And I'm pinching 5 and 1 with that 3rd fret down, the note G. Then I lift that finger and play the 2nd fret on the same string. So I'm actually barring all the 2s, so this would be like an A6 chord. So pinch 5 and 1, play 1 again, but with that finger lifted. Then I pinch 4 and 2, but I've got on the 2nd string, my pinky is down on the 5th fret, so I'm playing an E there. And then I lift it and play the 2nd fret. So I'm pinching 4 and 2, playing 2 again after I lift my pinky. So we got pinch and, which up to speed is very hard. Then the 6th string open, and then back to 1 and 1, and slide into it for measure 34. So let's go back to 32. I'm going to do it with the chromatic thing, I guess, from the end of 31. 3, 4. Then into measure 34. I butchered it, but let's do it. So 34, we slide into it the same way. Then I'm pinching 4 and 1 again, with the pinky down on the 5th fret. We've seen that before. 6, 2, thumb on 3. We've seen that before. But here we immediately add the 3rd fret on the 1st string right after that. So the second half of that measure is 6th string, immediately to the 2nd, thumb on the 3rd string, then to the 1st, with that middle finger down, making it an A7. That's the G up there, right? So that whole measure. Then right after we hit that 3, we're going to pull off to 2. But at the same time, we have this compound motion where I'm pulling off, but also hitting the 5th string the moment I pull off. So 5th string after I pull off. So another really awesome measure. And how I'm doing this is after I do that pull off and hit the 5th string, then I do the 5th fret on the B string alone. So it's... Then I'm pinching 4 and 2, and that 2 is, I lifted my pinky, so it's 2nd fret on the D and B string there. Then I put my pinky right back down on the 2nd string. Then the 6th string is open, and then back to 1, 1 and slide. So a lot of information. I've been practicing this part for a while, and I am still having a ton of trouble getting it up to speed. For me, it's the hardest part of the song because, like I said before, I'm not very good at doing that single finger trigger thing, so I'm alternating between I and M, and it's hard to do at this speed. So let's take it slow. Let's go from measure 31 here. 3, 4... So sorry, that was a bit rough. You guys get the idea though. So we are in 36 right now. Starts the same, right? We slide in from the A, 5th string at the same time, pinch 4 and 1, with my pinky down on the 5th fret, then 6 with a thumb, then 4 with a thumb. So we get a break on this measure. Then 37 is hard again. That wasn't even the whole thing. So 37, we have the A7, and I'm pinching 5 and 1 with that 3rd fret down, then immediately lifting it and playing the 1st string again, 2nd fret. Then I do the same thing. I'm pinching 4 and 2. I got the pinky down though on the 5th fret of the B string, and I pinch 4 and 2, but then immediately lift it, play that B string again. So we do. But then it keeps going because now we're pinching 6 and 2, and I put the pinky back down on the 5th fret, and then I go to the 1st string right afterwards. So 6 and 2, and then the E string alone, and that's the 2nd fret there because this is all barred. Give yourself a break. All right, let's do that whole measure so far. 3, 4. I missed it. 3, 4. Then we add the 4th string again, still the 2nd fret. And then I'm going to lift and brush up with my index, open on the 2nd and 3rd strings. And then we hammer onto an E chord. But we'll get there in a second. 37 again, 3, 4. 3, 4. So So do that real slow. That's a whole difficult part in and of itself. And then when you practice that a bunch, I would keep going here because we transition into a few more chords. Let's do it. If you need a slow run through, timestamps are down below. I'm not going to do it again. 38. So we have the open and open on the second and third strings. And I hammer into an E major chord. And when I do that hammer on, I'm also hitting the 6th string open. And then we go to 6th string with our thumbs. So again, it's quick tempo here with the thumb. It's not Travis style. So I got thumb 6, thumb 4, and then open on the top 2. Sorry. There we go. Then I do thumb on 6 again. A heavy thumb, but my pinky is down on the D. 3rd fret of the B string, giving us like this E7 sound. Then after I do, I hit open on the 1st string. So without the hammer-on part, I have open 4, top 2, open heavy thumb with the E7 down, and then top string again. So then open again, and I lift the thumb for that last chord in there. Thumb, 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 thumb. Real slow again. 3, 4. One more time. 3, 4. Then the next measure sounds like this. This is 39. Missed the last note. So it goes back into Travis picking here, which makes it easier but also trippy because the rhythm before is not Travis style. Here we have, it's still an E chord, but I'm putting the G on top, right, the minor 3rd in there, and I'm pinching 6 in that 6 and 1. Then I immediately lift the pinky and play open on the 1st string. Then I move that pinky to the 3rd fret on the B string, and I'm pinching 4 and 2. So 2nd fret and 3rd fret on the B string. And then I play the top one alone. So pinch 2 and 4 there, and then open on the 1st. So we got pinch, open, pinch, open. Then the measure ends. 6, 2nd string, still the 3rd fret. 4 with the thumb, and then open with my pointer finger. I lift up the chord, play open on the 3rd string. So that whole measure, 3, 4. 3, 4. Yep, let's do go into 38, and we'll do 38 and 39. 3, 4. Slower. 3, 4. It trips me up even doing that rhythm. Real cool though, guys. Measure 40, we go to an A7 chord, right? Open, 2, open, 2, open. From the ground up, open, 2, open, 2, open. It's a palindrome, a musical palindrome. And what we're doing here, another really goofy right-hand thing here. We've got 5, 4 with the thumb, so not Travis. Then immediately the 1st string with my 3rd finger. Then we have open on the 5th string, but then I'm pinching 4 and 2. Then open on the 1st string. So thumb, thumb, top string, thumb, pinch, top string. And I suppose you could just do a heavy thumb there. Hearing that open 3rd string, so I don't know. But then it's 2 5th strings at the end. I guess you could do a regular A and do thumb, thumb, top string, thumb, heavy thumb, top string. If that's easier, because I know that pattern's more regular than how I have written. Yeah, I would maybe do it that way. think that makes more sense. I will correct my own tab here and do it that way. Just way easier, because then you have to add the 5th fret pinky, and if you're doing the A7 like this, that's going to be impossible to do. So yep, that'll be measure 40, and then 41. This one, again, is really goofy. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing, but I'm hearing this off the bat. A pinch on 4 and 2, and then thumb on the 5th string. That's what he's doing. I don't know how he keeps this in his head. So pinching 4 and 2, or sorry, 4 and 1, with that 5th fret on top. And I'm pinching the thumb, or sorry, then the thumbs alone. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. Pinch 4 and 1, thumbs alone on 5, then the 2nd string alone with my pointer finger. Pinching 4 and 1 again, like we did at the beginning. So very awkward. Not that hard, but after all that other stuff, this just comes out of nowhere. We haven't seen that right hand pattern yet at all. And then the measure ends 5, 2, then thumb on 4, and then lift up the chord play, 3rd string open with the pointer. So the endings Travis picked. Just thumb on 5, 2nd string with the middle, thumb on 4, pointer on the 3rd, and it's open. So that's easy enough, but it's goofy with that first beats. 3, 4, 3, 4. Yep. 42 and 43, more impossible stuff that I kind of cheat on when I play it fast. I'm still working on it. This is as close as I can get it to what he's doing, but man, you listen to it in slow motion and you'll just go, what the heck? You put it on 0.5 speed, you're like, I still can hardly tell what's happening. So we played that open on 41, and now we're hammering into like a D7 with an F sharp in the bass. So you can play it with your thumb over the top. The first string is going to be open, so it's actually like a sus, right? A D7 sus. But I have 2nd fret on the low E, 2nd fret on the A of the G string, which makes the note an A, and then 1st fret on the B string, which is the C. So it's like, again, it's like a D7 with an F sharp in the bass, but the top string is open. And you can use your thumb or do it like this, doesn't really matter. But after we played open in measure 41 at the end there, we kind of hammer into the whole chord, but mainly we're sounding that hammer on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, but I'm hammering the whole chord down there. And also at the same time, that compound motion again of hitting the 6th string at the same time. Then my thumb does open on the 4th string. Then my middle finger or pointer finger is hitting the 2nd fret there. So hammer on, thumb on the 4th, then the 2nd string. I think you got that. Second half of the measure, we got this cool triplet idea again. I'm sorry. Yeah, so second half of the measure is 6th string, 4th string, all with the thumb, then pointer on the 3rd, middle on the 2nd. So you're kind of rolling through all of them there. Thumb, pointer, middle, then get the 6th string twice. There's the rhythm. Got the triplet. So let's try that all together. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 4, and yeah. So let's do 41 and 42 together. Actually, let's go back to 40 because it's hard to not daisy chain these things because they're all like a big connected melody. So from 40, 3, 4. Probably way too fast for you still. Let's do it again from 40. 3, 4. And just because I'm playing this fast off the bat doesn't mean you should be. I need to say this way more, but you have to learn something before you practice it. And I know that sounds like stupid at first, like, oh, cute little saying about practice, but it is very true. And I'll try to explain it here briefly. So if you're just looking at a measure for the first time and you start playing it and you're playing it again and again and you go, oh, I'll eventually get it, I'm practicing. Not really. So what you want to do is go so freaking slow, and you might have to go slow like 40 times. I'm not joking. Really slow until your fingers actually know what they're supposed to be doing. And you want to go at such a slow tempo that you're playing it without any mistakes at all and playing it with the correct fingers every time. And so you might have to do, like if we just take measure 42, for example, like you might just have to do that motion 100 times and really focus. Okay, it's pointer. I'm hammering at the same time I'm hitting that thumb. Am I like doing anything weird with my right hand? Am I like doing something weird with my left hand? So economy of motion is super important, because if you practice things with weird economy of motion, then practice makes perfect, right? Well, what's the more clever saying, or the more accurate one? Practice makes permanent, right? So if you're practicing with tension, you're going to retain that tension, right? So you want to practice without it. Then I'm dropping the thumb, right? My instinct might be like to get a middle finger ready or something, but it's just the thumb. All right, now if I feel good about it, maybe I can go a little faster. That might be tricky because, again, it's thumb, thumb, pointer, middle. That may seem absurd, but it's not absurd. That's how you get good. That's how great players, that's why they're great. They take the time, they go slow, they learn it, and then they practice it, and they are never pushing the tempo. Eventually, I shouldn't say never, but not at the beginning. Eventually you push it because you want to kind of get in that uncomfortable zone, but it's only briefly to kind of push it. Then make sure you got it slow again. Then maybe push it. And you're kind of doing that dance where if you're pushing it once in a while and making a mistake, you're immediately backing and correcting at a slow tempo until you can do that push and get it to speed. That's the practice tip. Onward. 43 continues with that weird D7 with the F sharp in the bass. That's sus2 or whatever we're doing here. This one I'm not playing up to speed either yet. We're doing open on the first string. Oh, I lost the guitar here. Open on the first string, then the sixth, then the second string again, but we lift it open. And you figure out if you're going to alternate or not. Then we have 6, 3, and then right back to 6, and I'm doing thumb, pointer. Sorry, 6, 3, then it's a pinch. 6 and 2. So 6, 3, and then I'm pinching 6 and 2. Then immediately lift that first finger again and play that B string again. From the top, 3, 4. 3, 4. Now if I go back to measure 42, 3, 4. Yeah! And this part sounds awesome, but you get a break. It's pretty easy. In measure 44, we just play an A chord. He's just hitting 5 and 3. But if you want to just hit the A, you can. 5 and 3, and then a little walk, 2nd fret on the A string. So B, then C sharp. 2, 4, then open on the D string. Alright, so pinch, then you do the little walk. Then I'm doing the inside notes of an E7 chord, but I'm just doing the middle notes. So on the 4th string I got 2, then I have 1, then I have 3. So the inside of an E7 chord. Then I walk open, 2, 4 on the 6th string. So let's do those together. 3, 4. bit slower. 3, 4. Yeah.
Ooh, now that the lighting's just right, speaking of old women in rocking chairs, she's got an eye on you, buddy. keep playing that Doc, and that old lady's just woo-hoo-hoo.
Boom. Again, timestamps. Run through that part a bunch before you move on. But guys, we're pretty much there. We have the final part, but it's basically the same as the beginning. Holy cow, can you believe it if you made it this far? If you've made it this far, comment down below and just say, I'm a hero, and we will all congratulate you. All right, if you've made it far in this video, say, I'm a frickin' hero. Just say legend. You can just write legend with an arrow pointing to your screen name. So what would that be? Right? Less than sign, dash, 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 legend. You, amazing. Congratulations. Let's finish it off here. We're in measure 45 after that cool little walk. Which is all the same there in 46 as the intro. The only thing different in 47, and it's almost the only thing different except for the end, is he adds this quick little open. So yeah, that's 47 there. We have open 5 and then open on the first string, which we didn't see before. So after that bend in the previous measure, right, so it's just 5, 1, then the pinch. So it's just that open on the first string. That's the only new material. And here I'm hearing a heavy thumb there, so what was it? But again, pretty darn subtle. Heavy, or not heavy thumb, but heavy brush there. Or whatever your finger you're using to get it. It's a bit more of a brush. So beside those two little subtleties, everything is the same in 50. And then we just tag that. So 53 then tags the same part. And that hammers into it. So we just tag that part a couple more times instead of just in the beginning of the song where we do it once. So if you're looking at the tab, let's go for measure 50, 1, 52, 3, 4. Do it again. Then it's just 5, 4, 3. Hats off. I'm not even wearing one. Hats off. Unbelievable. You're a legend. Congratulate yourself. Guys, if you learned this song from this video, come on, consider the value for value model. This was no easy effort on my part or yours. Please consider the joy and the gift that I've given you in learning this song. And, you know, give one-time support or become a monthly supporter. I already did the donation pitch, but come on, guys. If you learn this, it's with you for the rest of your life. At least give your buddy Mike a couple bucks so I can continue to make these videos and keep them basically free for most people, or if not very cheap. I don't want to be one of those guys charging like 10 bucks every freaking tab. That's annoying, but it is the value for value model. All right? Oh yeah. All right, y'all. We got our slow run-throughs. Really close up with our metronome going real slow. We're at like 70 BPM. I want you guys to be able to get this slow. And do the beginning to the first ending in measure 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Still even missed a thumb pick in there, even at 70 BPM. That's it, guys. Loop that a whole bunch. There's all sorts of programs out there. Let me stop this annoying click. Where you can actually like just loop. If you wanted to download this video, that might be too much work. But, you know, just hit that back arrow and keep looping these sections and do it again and again. If that gets easy, then bump up the speed of the YouTube video instead of slowing it down to like 1.1, 1.2. Or if you feel confident enough that you got a feel for it, you start moving the metronome by yourself. I'll shut up and do the rest of the slow run-throughs, I promise. But the rule of 7 is pretty good. If you got a good at 70, then jump to 77. Feel good there, and then go up another 7. I can't do math, you know, 84 or whatever. But 7's a good rule. If you go up to 71, that's like no difference at all. But if you do much more than 7, it could be too big of a jump. So the rule of 7. We'll take it from measure 4, and then we're going to go all the way to 20 or whatever it is before that second repeat. So we won't do 11, right? We're going to do the second ending. So when instead of 11, we're going to do 12. I think you guys get it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. And again, guys, I'm not really palm muting because at that tempo, it's going to sound a little weird. I mean, you practice it that way, but I just want to make sure you're hearing all my notes really clearly. So I'm not palm muting. Technique might come later, but if you want to start palm muting already, that's fine. Just know I'm playing it not palm muted, but not that you shouldn't practice it that way. It's just for the sake of your clarity when you're listening to this video. So let's do the third section here. Again, the song would repeat 4 through 10, and then our third ending here would be measure 21, where we get into this fun stuff. So let's do 21. Let me get the click going again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, I'm struggling. Sometimes to slow it down is even harder, but I'm kind of realizing my own, I could learn this song better, that's for sure. Measure 31, as usual, we do that whole intro part again, but then our second, well, this is like our third transition already. Instead of 11, we would play 31, which is where we're going to start from. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy cow, this song is hard. I need to work on it. One more little note too, this stuff is always helpful. It's right now, I'm for this part at least, I'm like stuck on the page, and I really want to make sure Like now that I've practiced it a bunch, I'm a little loose with it and I'm not doing it exact, so I'm reading the tab. But another way to practice besides doing this, I actually recommend this. I know I'm giving you these slow run-throughs, but the whole point of this video was to learn it first, right? So if you're not ready for these slow run-throughs, then stop. And maybe you're just taking measure 37 and beating the heck out of it until you have it memorized, because sometimes you don't want to look at the page and you want to be focusing on your hands. So that's when memorizing it comes in handy. And even if you measure just like memorize like 4 measures a week or a month, sure, this song may take you 6 months or a year, but it's totally worth it because once you get it, it's freaking awesome. Let's keep going though. So 46, slow run of the ending here. Let's do it, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was good fake slow motion, wasn't it? Yeah, you do it too. It's gonna feel. Today's gonna be the day that they're gonna give it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe it. Yeah?
That guitar playing so good. Hey Dad,
Yeah?
can you even play guitar?
God, measure 25 hurts my hand.